On the road to the Final Four, Rosemont, Illinois, the scene, a partisan Illinois crowd. The Pac-10 Wildcats of Arizona and the Fighting Illini of Illinois from the Big Ten. The winner advances to the Final Four against the Louisville Cardinals, rallying from that 20-point deficit to win in overtime with Jay Billis, Dick Enberg. Arizona, Salim Stoudemire, great shooter, but they've got much more. But for Illinois, 5 starters, all in double figures. Where do you guard?
A lot of great individual matchups. I think one of the keys is going to be transition defense. Whichever team can get back and take the other out of advantage break situations, they're going to have the advantage.
All right, let's look at the starting lineups. First for Lute Olson. On the left, his starting lineup of Adams, Fry, Radenovich, Stoudemire, the best three-point shooter in the nation percentage-wise, and the point guard Shakur. For Illinois, Bruce Weber's team, 35-1, winningest team in Illinois history and Big Ten history. Augustine and Powell in the front court. All 3 of those guards, Head, Williams, and Brown, were named All Big Ten. This game brought to you. First of all, let's introduce our officials. Donato, McCall, and Shows. And now we can tell you the game is brought to you in HD TV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television. Illinois in white, in red, Arizona. And we're underway at Rosemont. 18,000 fans, and as you can see in the background, most of them wearing orange for Illinois.
Arizona starts out in a zone. The same defense that they played the majority of the game against Oklahoma State.
Bruce Weber mentioned that as he talked with Armin Katayan. They'd like to get him out of that zone with three-point shooting. The first try is not there. Channing Frye, the leading rebounder for the Wildcats, one-hands the board. Inside to Radenovich. The big men play an inside game, but it's last touched by Channing Frye out of bounds to Illinois.
And in transition, Luther Head picked up Hassan Adams. Head, the best defender in my judgment for Illinois. But Darren Williams on that first possession was guarding Salim Stoudemire.
Luther Head playing with a hamstring injury. We'll see what percent of his capability he'll bring to this game.
This Arizona team very athletic, and they are also long, so they can bother shots in this defense.
Head, Darren Williams, and now D. Brown from 3. Brown, their top three-point producer, hits on his first attempt. Stoudemire, what happened there? May have been touched by Illinois, saved by Augustine. Arizona late getting down court, but Radenovich able to clear the miss by Powell.
Looked like it slipped out of the hands of Stoudemire on the pass, and Channing Frye should have chased that ball down. He was letting it go out of bounds, and it almost resulted in an Illini too.
Radenovich inside to Shakur, knocked away by Augustine. Underrated defensively, Augustine, but that's one of the strengths of this Illinois team and why they're 35-1. They play both ends so tenaciously. Head throws this one away, and it's Stoudemire looking for his first shot attempt. There it is for 3. Rebound Brown.
And Augustine, you would think he would guard Frye, but Bruce Weber has put Powell on Frye.
Roger Powell moves outside. Doesn't shoot often from out there, but he is accurate. 6-0 Illini. Inside and a whistle. It's going to be a charge against Arizona. They came to roar, the fans of the Illini. This university with its great basketball heritage never has won a national title. They've been to the Final Four 4 different times. The last was in 1989, 16 long seasons ago, and with the frustrations of some disappointing football years, these Illini fans won a title. Stoudemire to Radenovich, and the first point for Arizona on the board. It took 2.5 minutes.
Well, Arizona going back to man-to-man on that possession. Chris Rogers with the steal.
D. Brown, lightning quick. 5 points for Brown off the top of the game.
And you have to get back in transition, Dick, and that's really a key to this game. Whichever team is able to get back in transition and take away those advantage break situations is going to win this game.
Salim Stoudemire takes it inside, draws the foul from D. Brown. Here's Stoudemire, chance to study his free throw technique. He
is one of the best in the country, 90.8% this year. 130 tries, he's missed only 12 times.
And in asking him what he thinks about when he takes a free throw, he says, I don't think about anything. It's one of the few times I get to shoot without being guarded.
Oh, and he even gets the shooter's roll. That seemed off mark. Says, why shouldn't I make him? No one's guarding me. Checking from into the lineup for Illinois, and an early rest for Roger Powell Jr. See the free throw shooting accuracy of Arizona, 4th in the nation. Michigan State's used their charities to advance. Big Ten mighty proud, 3 of the final 8 from the Big Ten Conference. That a bitter looking shot from Stoudemire. 8-4 Illinois.
Again, Arizona sticking with the man-to-man that was successful getting the steal on the last possession.
Brown, another 3. Ingram there for the long rebound. Was it deflected by Rogers? Yes, it was.
Rogers, a terrific defender. This Arizona team, very athletic, but they also have very good size. And Rogers, one of those that has size and strength and the ability to get down and guard a smaller man with his speed.
This is Rogers on Brown. He's built like Darren Williams of Illinois is Rogers. Here's Darren Williams, a playmaking guard and one of the best in the country. Good ball movement. Brown for 3. And Channing Frye clears for Arizona. Here come the Cats.
Rogers with the ability to run the point that frees up Stoudemire to run off screens. Here comes the double on the pass instead of the catch.
Hassan Adams had a big game in beating Oklahoma State by 1. Rogers takes it inside. Radenovic denied, but a foul on Ingram. Fans didn't like it, nor did Bruce Weber.
Not sure he should like it. A terrific drive and nice pass, but Radenovic opens up instead of saying square. And Luther Head being guarded right here, grabbed from behind by Stoudemire going around the screen, but Arizona able to switch screens and stay with them. Sometimes when they get out ahead of you, you grab that jersey. If it's not seen, you can get away with it.
Radenovic, 20-year-old sophomore from Belgrade. That's 5 unanswered points now for Arizona.
Radenovic has had a very nice tournament. He's able to hit open shots, and he keeps that ball alive. When you help off of him, he can make you pay by knocking down mid-range jumpers.
8-6 the Illini lead. Ingram from outside. Rogers, no, it's Adams, Hassan Adams at 6'4", their second leading rebounder, and does he have some moves? Hassan Adams ties it up at 8 with his first bucket.
What a shot fake to Radenovic, got the defense to bite, and he lays it in. Nobody picked him up in transition, and that's what we've been talking about, that transition defense, and you can see the speed of Hassan Adams.
Stolen by Radenovic. Here's Adams. Back to Radenovic, and the kick, and a new 35 for Arizona. So a quick start by the favored Illini here in Chicago, but back come the Wildcats. Saturday night in the Windy City, Arizona and Illinois battling for the right to move on to the Final Four in St. Louis, tied at 8 after 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Dick Enberg, Jay Billis on the Catayan at the Rosemont Arena, and the court, Ray Meyer, the Hall of Famer, great coach of DePaul. This is the DePaul Demons home court. Inside is Adams. Oh, he worked his speed and his clever moves in midair, and he's suddenly wide open.
Well, he got a nice screen from Radenovic inside, and Adams was the man that inbounded the ball, and he is so sneaky and able to get open. What he does, his athleticism carries him to the basket. What an athlete.
Arizona enjoying its first lead of the game, and there's Adams with a steal. Brown to beat. He pulls it up. Long pass, and what a catch by Stoudemire, like an outfielder against the wall. Radenovic from 12.
Boy, quite a run by Arizona.
Well, those are the shots that Radenovic has been hitting all tournament long. He's shooting 67% in the NCAA tournament. Went 5 of 5 the other day against Oklahoma State.
Powell not there. Fry is. A 12-2 run for the Cats.
How about the height that Hassan Adams gets on those rebounds? Another step on the ladder.
Radenovic from 18. This is everything. Fry trying to save, but cannot. The ball as it bounced hit the baseline. Lute Olson, age 70, coached at Iowa, took the Hawkeyes to the Final Four in 1980. Trying to get his Wildcats back to the championship round after winning 8 years ago. Is that Mike Gibby team?
This Arizona team so athletic on the defensive end. They are solid defensively at the guard spot.
Luther Head can't hit the three. Augustine gives the Illini another chance. Head will try it and hit. Luther Head, the leading scorer for the Illini on the year. That's his 101st three-point shot made.
Boy, and how about the pass by Darren Williams after the offensive board? It didn't look like much, but that is a point guard that knows how to play.
Darren Williams' defense really shackling Stoudemire. Channing Frye can't hit the bank. And good work by Radenovic to slap that ball off the leg of Augustine, out of bounds to Arizona. Say you can vote for your Pontiac game-changing performance of each round. Nearly $150,000 of scholarship contributions are on the line. Take action. Vote now. NCAAsports.com/Pontiac. One of the few times in the entire tournament that the Illini have trailed in a game.
They've only trailed for a couple minutes in this entire tournament.
Out of 120 minutes of play, less than 2 minutes. Fry has his first basket.
Well, when he gets the ball inside, he is so skilled, able to score quickly and recognize when he's getting doubled and pass out of it.
Luther Head wanted it, and that's why down the bottom of the well, tied at 14.
Well, you have really got to get back and find people in transition. They take advantage of you when you don't.
Radenovic a long two. And finally, Rich McBride comes up with a loose ball for Illinois. McBride just in, good three-point shooter, although he's been cold of late. McBride hasn't scored in the last 5 games. Here he is. Darren Williams pops. And can Radenovic save? No. Out of bounds, Illinois.
Channing Frye getting the ball down low, looking to see where the double team is coming from, and then turns away from it with that soft touch. And Luther Head on the catch and shoot sets his feet as well as anyone in the country.
B. Brown back in, a big hand for Luther Head, playing on that injured hamstring. He's shown he can find the range. 6 points on a pair of threes for Head.
Arizona going zone out of the out-of-bounds underneath.
Illini team passes so well. McBride has it rim out. Augustine took it down to the court. It was slapped away, and Brown quick enough to get in. Recover for the Illini. McBride again. Second time the charm. And the Illini three-pointers have them back in the lead.
And 2 of those threes, Dick, have come off offensive rebounds, and they've been long rebounds. Arizona has to do a better job of getting to those long rebounds.
Jawan McClellan in for the first time, the freshman from Houston. And the foul will be on Darren Williams, as the good pass work of Arizona had Radenovic clear underneath. It's the first on Williams. 11:44 remaining in the opening half. It's 17-14 Illini. 15 of the 17 Illinois points on three-point makes, and they lead by 3. Bruce Weber in his second season, and he's trying to delimit
the enormity of the entire championship by calling little brackets Illinois Invitationals. This is posted in their hotel. They're trying to reduce it down. Just 4 teams. Don't worry about what's happening over on the other side of the bracket.
Well, they played the weekend that's in front of them and turn everything into a 4-team tournament. They did it the first weekend. Now they're doing the second weekend. If they can win this game, they go to St. Louis for a 4-team tournament, the Final Four.
Denovich 3 for 3 from the line. He's averaging 8.5 points a game. From a family of economists. Father in the import-export business in Serbia, Montenegro.
And you know, Dick, that 4-team tournament concept, something that Dean Smith came up with years ago. And you tell your team, the other side of that bracket, the other 32 teams, who cares what goes on there? Only one team's coming out of there. You concentrate on your own road. I thought that was a very intelligent move from a coaching standpoint by Bruce Weber.
Augustine takes it inside and then back out to Brown.
Likes to slip that ball screen. You have to be very aware, especially on the weak side of Augustine.
Down to 7 on the shot clock. Inside and the block by Fry. And they're calling it a tie up. And the arrow points to Arizona. And that big guy Fry, 6'11" senior from Phoenix. He had 79 blocks on the season. And in 2 years, 142. He's a presence when you get down low.
Well, he is so long and so athletic, but he's also very smart. He waits until the offensive player leaves his feet. Then he goes for that shot block, averaging almost 3 blocks per game in the NCAA tournament.
Shakur back in. Rogers out.
Here's where Adams has an advantage on head. He's bigger and he's played the post.
Shakur drills the 3, and Arizona back on top. 19-17, his first points.
And Shakur had been struggling from the field, but he can make open shots. Not a great shooter, though.
Ingram short, 8-footer, not quite long enough. Radenovich clearing. Shakur to Adams.
Nice pass.
Oh, and it's off the fingertips of Fry, out of bounds.
Illinois has really relied upon the 3-point shot. 11 of the Illini's first 15 shots were threes, and knocked down 5 of those. 2 of them coming off offensive rebounds, where Darren Williams very intelligent in finding an open shooter.
It's Darren Williams who hits the 2, a long 2, and it's tied at 19.
What a nice pass by Jack Ingram. Got it into the middle, collapsed the defense, and found the open Darren Williams.
Clock ticks down. We're at the midpoint of the first 20-minute period here in Rosemont, Illinois, and Channing Frye shows you he can face up and hit that 15-footer.
Ingram, not used to having big guys shoot the ball that quickly off a catch-and-shoot situation, but Frye, a terrific shooter, a very skilled big man.
Luther head inside and almost intercepted it. D. Brown from 3. And Illinois forges back in front using the 3-point shot.
Well, they say live by it, die by it, but it's been living and living right.
And a foul will be called against Illinois. Augustine's first.
D. Brown off the relocation pass. Shakur trying to get out there and put some pressure on it, but D. Brown such a quick trigger, and you can see Ingram a little bit reluctant to go any further out, but he's going to have to go out there because Frye can knock that shot down all night long. He's shooting over 70% in the NCAA tournament.
McClellan slipping, and has Head slapping away. Steal by Head. Quickly to Brown. Again, the ball movement. So many touches, and then Brown can't hit the long jumper. Hassan Adams the other way for Arizona.
We've got to give it to the big guy.
Ingram hawking Frye in the post, and Frye gets the lob pass and scores. Hey, you should be coaching. That was exactly the play.
Well, he did such a good job of working Ingram, had Ingram on his hip. You've got to give it to him. He'll score every time or get fouled.
Speaking of Ingram, he answers at the other end. Senior from San Antonio. They trade leads here at the 8.5-minute mark of the opening half. Listen to this Illini crowd.
Both teams, great shooting. Adams can't hit. Batted forward by Head. Nothing wrong with his hamstring there, but tiptoeing along the sidelines, he hit the line out of bounds to Arizona.
Channing Frye in the post and doing a nice job, Arizona is, of moving the ball around in order to find the angle from which to feed him. I thought he should have gotten the ball from the right wing, but when you get into that high-low situation, Illinois has got to put better pressure on the passer. Hassan Adams able to look in there much too easily.
Lute Olson uses more of his bench. 6'10" sophomore, number 54, Kirk Roberts, makes his first appearance. Jawan McClellan, the freshman, still out there. Stoudemire yet to hit a field goal. He takes the three and misses that one. Brown the other way, leading by one.
Pass to Powell. What a bounce pass by D. Brown, setting up the Reverend Roger Powell Jr.
Oh boy, Brown threw a cross-body block into Radenovich, but got a piece of the ball. They called it a tie-up.
That's the aggressive defense Bruce Weber loves. He said from day one, these kids 2 years ago knew they better guard their man, play D.
Not bad passing either. Here's the best three-point shooter in the nation, 51%.
Well, Darren Williams has happened to breathe. He's using his strength and his smarts to keep Stoudemire from getting the ball, and when he does get it, he's got a hand up. But this is exactly what Bruce Weber wanted, getting some. Oh, what a play!
Darren Williams moves inside for the lob.
What a great call out of the timeout. The pass, the back screen, and Darren Williams showing the athleticism, very underrated as an athlete.
There's Stoudemire going under the basket. Darren Williams tagging him all the way. Radenovich inside. No foul. Radenovich gets the ball back and scores. He's leading Arizona with 10 points.
Illinois' ability to hit three-point shots in this game is stretching out Arizona's defense and making the Wildcats vulnerable to drives and also to post-ups.
Chris Rogers at 6'4" on the 6'3" Darren Williams with the ball. Augustine, good cross-court pass to Brown. Banks it in off the glass on the three. He'll take it, and so will these rabid Illini fans.
Well, you know you're hot when you're banking them in.
Stoudemire, the high move off the glass, and Frye there to just nudge it in. Brown beats everyone down court. There's the block, but Powell is fouled on the rebound.
How about the speed of D. Brown with the ball in his hands? Lightning. Earlier off the timeout. You're going to get a little screen right here by Roger Powell. Nobody steps in, and not enough pressure on the basketball by Hassan Adams. So Luther Head able to lob it right up, and Williams with both hands high. That is really strong. And D. Brown, Saturday night banking hours in Chicago.
I thought they were closed on Saturday evening. I guess not up here in Rosemont. Here's the Reverend Roger Powell Jr. He is a Pentecostal minister. Easter tomorrow. He said, I don't pray for a win. I just pray to thank my opportunity to play to win.
He certainly played to win against Wisconsin-Milwaukee at 12 points, 9 rebounds. 5 of those were offensive. And when he's aggressive on the offensive glass, it gives Illinois more opportunities.
And that's just what he offered. Now has 7 points in the game. Powell now guarding Radenovich. Ties him up. Arrow points to Arizona.
This doesn't sound like a neutral court to me.
Well, that is the advantage of being seated #1 of the ones.
Radinovich putting it on the floor, and Illinois, their hands are so active, not just the guards, and the guards have great hands on defense, but their Powell, when Radinovich showed the ball on his dribble, was right there with his right hand to knock it away and cause the tie-up.
Bruce Weber's team enjoying Indianapolis in the first 2 rounds or first 2 games of the championship, close by Champaign, Illinois, then close here to Chicago, where they played in the Big Ten tournament and won. And should they be victorious, they'll play Louisville in St. Louis. Again, just a couple-hour drive away from the campus in Champaign. And do they ever bring the orange-clad fans? Rogers unable to hit the 3, and look at Adams against much taller men. Stoudemire hasn't hit yet. He's over 4, but Fry is there to tip in the rebound again.
Channing Frye so active on both ends of the floor. That was all made possible by Hassan Adams and his athletic activity on the glass.
Ingram to Brown. Plenty of time as we approach the 5-minute mark. 12 on the shot clock. Ingram the jump. Gets it back. And a foul. Hassan Adams will be ticketed. A hidden diary reveals a past life and a dark secret. Christina Applegate stars in a world premiere movie, Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas, tomorrow night on CBS. Jack Ingram played his first 2 years in Tulsa for Bill Self. Recruited by Self. He has one of the unique jobs in his biography, Jay Billis. He has worked at Six Flags as the roller coaster operator. Now you take it from there.
Well, I'll tell you, he's had quite a smooth ride this season. He's come off the bench very effectively, especially since the Wisconsin game, where he came in, had 8 points, and he's been a big factor. He didn't score in their last ball game, but he has come off the bench and has done a nice job in this game.
McBride with 3 and Ingram with 3 off the bench. Illinois did not score a point from their bench against Milwaukee on Thursday night.
Got to give it to Fry. He's got his man on his hip.
And they double team quickly, don't they? Passes errant. Darren Williams. Off the rim, and off. Warren Carter's chance to get in the book. Just in as Carter, a 6'9" sophomore from Dallas. Hassan Adams with his second foul. Team foul number 4. Arizona, 4 now on Illinois.
Illinois coming much quicker with the post-to-post double teams than Oklahoma State did against Arizona, and that threw Channing Frye. That's hard to do. He's an outstanding passer out of the post.
Carter's had his troubles, rare as they have been from the line, but he hits that one clean. 7 for 17 prior to the game tonight from the stripe for Carter. Shakur and McClellan back in for Arizona. Stoudemire takes a seat, still without a field goal. Carter hits them both. 7-point Illinois advantage at the 4:37 mark.
Smart move by Bruce Weber when Lute Olson took out Salim Stoudemire. He took out Darren Williams. Give his defensive star, at least of this game, a little bit of a rest.
Where's the scoring going to come from for the Wildcats? Again, a bad pass by Radinovich. He threw it into a crowd. Lucky it hit one of the Illinois players out of bounds.
Arizona's got to be much stronger with the ball. When they come off a ball screen, they are going to get trapped. And the rotations by Illinois have been swift.
Challenge every shot, every pass this Illinois defense. D. Brown on Shakur has to give it up. Now the double team on the sidelines. Down to 7 on the shot clock. McClellan doesn't know. It's down to 3. Shakur better hurry. 1 second. And it's Augustine for Illinois. And here come the Illini, leading by 7.
Illinois will not let Arizona run anything on the offensive end.
Fry out on Luther Head. Ingram to Brown. Fry with a rebound. Boy, they're letting them play, aren't they? Only 4 fouls each with 3.5 minutes to go. Rogers slipping again. Radenovic. Augustine on him. Brown comes out on Rogers. Fry well off the mark over Ingram. And Bruce Weber wants a 30, and these fans are on their feet cheering Illinois' 36-29 lead. Welcome back to Rosemont, Illinois, out near the O'Hare Airport. 36-29. Illinois enjoys its largest lead of this opening half as we're down to the 3:13 mark left before the intermission. Bench points are 8-0 in favor of Illinois. And here Jay Billis's testimony to the unselfish sharing of the ball by Illinois. 11 assists on 12 field goals.
Just an extraordinary passing team. Every man on the floor for Illinois is moving or screening at all times. Got away with a walk there.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Arizona timeout. 2:56 left before the break. Illinois by 7.
Arm contained back here at the Chicago Regional. Illinois up by 7. A couple of quick injury updates. I talked to Lutherhead before the game, and he told me he would go as long as he can on that knee, on that right hamstring. So far, so good. James Augustine here has got a problem during that timeout, Dick. They were working on his left knee. I would say right now he's a little iffy for this game. Back to you. Well, he's right in the game right now. Back to you.
Just returned. Thanks, Armin. Big story is Salim Stoudemire shut out from the floor. 0 for 4 in this first half. Arizona desperately needs his scoring punch, and there's Radenovic trying to get it to Fry, but Fry had been pushed away from the basket. That good defense again from Illinois.
Well, Augustine doing a great job of getting around in front, and you can see that Fry is pointing. He wants the ball to go to the top of the key to Radenovic so he can feed him in a high-low, but Augustine would not let him breathe in there.
Only 4 fouls on each team, and testimony to the whistle of the officials. They're letting these guys bang around. Foul from 3. He doesn't save. Ball goes to Shakur of Arizona.
5 on 4.
McClellan will pull up for the 3, and the freshman unabashedly knocks down his first points of the game.
I don't think Lute Olson minds seeing Roger Powell pull the trigger on threes.
Lutherhead and Augustine both nicked, but both playing, and Head pretty frisky from what I've seen.
Boy, nice job by McClellan of staying down on that shot fake by D. Brown.
Here's the quarterback, Darren Williams, down to 10 on the shot clock. Has it slapped away by Stoudemire. Quick hands by Salim Stoudemire.
Nice pass.
McClellan at the 2. Tipped but out of bounds by Radenovic. Illinois goes the other way, leading by 4. Coming up, singular at the half with Greg Clark and Seth. They'll talk about Michigan State and be able to visit directly with head coach Tom Izzo. Final 4, Louisville Cardinals, and a singular Naismith update, all coming up on singular at the half. No field goals in the last 5 minutes. Arizona putting on some D. And another turnover.
Boy, the length of Mustafa Shakur knocking that ball away.
Shakur takes it in the other end and scores. The sophomore from Philadelphia.
Nobody stopped the ball in transition. Darren Williams is staying with Salim Stoudemire. They've got to have other guys pick up the ball.
Final minute of this opening half. Illinois with the ball and a 2-point lead, led by as much as 7.
They can get a 2-for-1 if they want it.
D. Brown off the front of the rim. Roger Powell, he's not very tall, but he uses that body and his timing brilliantly. 9 for Powell. Lute Olson will use a timeout. 31 seconds left before the end of this first half. Illinois by 4. Slick, powerful, and fascinating. Yeah, that's what we're watching here at Rosemont, but also that's what the critics call CSI Miami. See for yourself why it's Monday's most watched show. CSI Miami, Monday on CBS.
Well, the story of this game so far has been the great defense of Darren Williams on Salim Stoudemire, the three-point shooting of Illinois, and the offensive rebounding of the Illini. The Illini have gotten a lot of second shots. Arizona going to have to talk about that at halftime and shore it up.
Shot clock off, down to 20 seconds left in the half. Shakur double teamed. Fry comes out to help. Here's Stoudemire. They'd like for him to get a field goal before the end of this first half.
Well, they're going to go 1-4 low. He's going to take Williams on one-on-one.
Oh, Williams, they got to call that. Williams came up with a forearm and bumped Stoudemire off the ball. A delayed whistle, but with only 4 team fouls, does not cost Illinois anything, but does put number 2 on the back of Darren Williams. So he'll come out. Weber not wanting to risk a third in these final seconds. 5.7 seconds left.
Illinois may look to switch the screen coming towards Stoudemire. They're going to try to bring him to the ball. He gets a choice of coming off of Channing Frye or off of Radenovich.
It's Shakur takes the last shot and trickles it home. And that is the end of the first half in Rosemont, Illinois. Frye and Radenovich with 10 each lead Arizona. No field goals for Stoudemire. Brown with 11, Powell 9. The Illini top scores 38-36. Illinois will send you the Greg Gumbel in New York after these messages and a word from your local station. Nation's #1. They've been so for 17 weeks. Illinois by a slender 2 over Arizona out of the Pac-10 as we get ready for the second 20 minutes. And both of these teams have really performed in that manner with some key players not scoring any, not much contribution, but it's coming from somewhere.
Well, Salim Stoudemire, no field goals in that first half due to the great defense of Darren Williams in Illinois. 7 of 15 from 3. That's been a difference. They've also done a very nice job getting second shots. Roger Powell with 3 offensive rebounds. Done very well from that standpoint.
James Augustine, no points for Illinois. And now look at the Power 8 halftime stats. They shot 66%. Arizona in the Oklahoma State win, still shooting over 50%. And here is Salim's frustration.
Well, he went 0 for 4 from the field, Dick, in the first half, and you've got to give all the credit to the great defense of Darren Williams. Darren Williams was with him on every opportunity, not helping off, getting over that fade screen, and limiting Stoudemire's open looks. And you can see Stoudemire in the tourney averaging over 21 points per game, shooting 50% from the field. 0 of 4 from the field in that first half. It's not just that he had the bagel, he had so few opportunities to get open looks.
Well, Jay, that's the bad news, but the good news for Lute Olson, his team's still within 2 without much from Stoudemire offensively.
Well, he got such a great performance in the first half out of Channing Frye and 20 points in the paint. They have to keep going inside because those are body blows.
Another block by Frye, his 3rd of the game. Stoudemire comes right out firing, and he's 0 for 5 now. Illinois did score but 1 field goal in the last 6.5 minutes of the first half, and they turn it over here. And Arizona with a chance for a tie or a possible lead with a 3.
That is the 6th turnover by Darren Williams. Very uncharacteristic for him to make a pass like that.
He's so meticulous in protecting the ball. Shakur, a good first half, scored 7. Adams works his way inside, and he does that as well as anyone. And we have it tied again for the 7th time.
Just a little double stack low, and Adams has an advantage against Luther Head inside. Head is smaller. Adams can post him up.
Luther Head outside to Williams. B. Brown, a little out of his range. Powell. Good first half for Roger Powell, and he trickles it in. Illinois back on top. 11 for Powell.
Arizona very fortunate. That could have been another turnover for the Wildcats. Radenovich fortunately in position to pick it up.
Hassan Adams. Little pick and roll to Radenovich.
Behind the back to Fry, and he is fouled.
Shakur with a fancy pass.
Well, Shakur, long and athletic and a very good passer, but this extraordinary. Drawing the defender James Augustine right to him in order to help out, and really the only way to complete that pass was to switch hands or go behind your back. He chose the fancier option, but very effective.
Second foul on Augustine. Fry, a good free throw shooter, doesn't come close on that one. He's shooting 83.4% on the season.
And says when he steps up to the line, he thinks about shooting free throws with his dad back in Chandler, Arizona. Thinks about shooting in the driveway just to relax himself.
11 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks for Channing Fry. 2 minutes into the second half, and the Illini lead by 1.
Arizona's defense vastly underrated. This is a solid defensive team.
Luther head, it won't fall. Battle inside, and Stoudemire with a quick hands.
Arizona sending all 5 guys to the defensive glass there.
Hassan Adams, look at him get inside again. It's almost like he makes his body disappear.
His speed is hard to describe in the open court unless you have seen him live. I'm not sure it does it justice to see it on the screen. But how about Channing Fry moving his feet? Oh, that's impressive for a center to get in front of Powell on the drive.
From the side, Darren Williams, a little short. Powell got away with a push-off. No, a whistle is going to be called against Roger Powell. First on him.
Hassan Adams, this in the open court, the little hesitation, the crossover. And it wasn't like he was going around some 7-footer. He blew by Darren Williams right there, and Darren Williams, an excellent defender, but it just shows how important it is to pick up that ball in transition. If you give Hassan Adams a little bit of space, well, he's going to take up that space and blow by.
He's 4 for 4 in the game, and misses his first shot. Radenovich, another steal for him.
Boy, very uncharacteristic of these guards.
Well, Radenovich overpassing. He had a shot himself, and in passing threw it away. Williams, the soothing effect as the quarterback outside. Luther head drives inside and draws the foul. CBS Sportsline keeps you on top of all the men's NCAA tournament action. It's all at CBSSportsline.com.
Foul on Hassan Adams, and that is the first man in the game to pick up 3.
Luther head doesn't look like that hamstring is bothering him too badly, because he has been constant motion on the offensive end. And that constant motion causes everyone to have to communicate on switches. And on that last possession, Arizona got caught on a switch without communicating, and nobody was on Luther head as a result.
Ingram back in for Illinois, and with 3 fouls, Hassan Adams stays for Arizona, tied at 41. 3.5 minutes into the second half. The winner goes to St. Louis, the Final Four against Louisville. Louisville coming from 20 down to win in overtime against West Virginia earlier. Shakur in traffic. Radenovich. He hits it, and it's a 3. Step just back off the line. And Arizona, leading by as much as 4 early in the first half, is up by 3 now.
Boy, if you help off Radenovich, you're going to get burned, because he has been knocking shots down at a really high rate in this tournament, almost 70%.
Stoudemire hits the 3, his first of the game, and that has the Arizona fans on their feet.
What area code was that in?
Hope comes with 3s from Salim, and so it is for the Wildcat faithful. 47-41. Back in Rosemont, Illinois, the Chicago Regional Final, our tournament summary, and certainly a surprise. 3 of the final 8 from the Big Ten. Wisconsin and Michigan State joining Illinois. And Rick
Patino takes Louisville back to the Final Four. It had been some 19 years since the Cardinals have made it to that elite quartet. A 9-1 run by Arizona, 6-0 for the Wildcats. Head trying to stop that, and it rims out. Radenovich pulls it down.
Boy, the sense of urgency that Fry has to get out to the shot, amazing.
What a steal by Head. And Darren Williams will set up the play. Ingram wants the three. He was asking for it. He's got it. 6 points off the bench for Jack Ingram. It was his three-point shooting at Wisconsin that beat the Badgers at home and snapped their 38-game home winning streak earlier this year.
Also played very well against Nevada, but did not score against Wisconsin, Milwaukee. In fact, Illinois got no points off the bench.
Nice, soft, teardrop shot from Stoudemire inside to make sure none of the big guys swatted that away. 7 for Stoudemire.
Boy, the intelligent curl of the screen. He knew his defender was trailing him.
Adams out on Head. Remember, Hassan Adams has 3 fouls for Arizona. Augustine backs in. He's yet to score in the game. Gets it back. And the foul. Fry or Radenovich. Radenovich raised his hand, but I think they're pointing at Fry. It is Radenovich.
A trip to the Final Four on the line, and Luther Head really gutting it out on an injured hamstring, showing anticipation, great hands, 7 steals by the Illini. And how about the passing? Finding the open man, Jack Ingram, a big guy who is ready to shoot the ball. Ingram has 6 points in this game, and to have your big guys ready to pull the trigger from the perimeter makes you very hard to guard and really spreads the Arizona defense.
Team foul just 2 aside. Down by 5, the Illini with the ball. They trailed more in this game, the entire tournament total. Winningest team in Big Ten history, 35. Michigan State with 33 6 years ago. Head hits it just outside the arc, and it's 49-47. 10 points for him. Playing on a sore hamstring, but playing his usual ferocious game at both ends.
Boy, is he smart using screens. Just rub Hassan Adams off that baseline screen. Very intelligent offensively.
Hassan Adams double teamed and Head nearly had the steal. Fry from the side. Darren Williams heads the other end. Illinois looking for the tie or lead on this possession. Into Augustine. He ties it up.
How about that quick move by James Augustine? And Arizona's got to be stronger with the ball. Those traps are bothering the Wildcats.
First points for Augustine. There's Darren Williams hawking Stoudemire. The pass to Fry, and he scores.
Boy, he is so quick from the catch to the release. Wouldn't allow the defense the time to catch up.
Fry with 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Lute Olson feeling he never has received the national notoriety he deserves. Augustine blocked by Fry, but a foul was called. It'll be his first.
Augustine on the offensive end with the post and the quick jump hook. He is left-handed, turning over that right shoulder, and then off the curl, Shakur finding Channing Fry, and Fry with the terrific catch and the quick finish, not allowing that defense to catch up. But Dick, this Illinois team, after James Augustine set that screen, he immediately looks for his offense, and this team's smart enough to look for the screener, not just the guy coming off the screen. That makes them that much harder to guard.
Augustine misses the first. He was the MVP of the Big Ten tournament, had 3 tremendous games, averaged a double-double, and that's been true here in all the tournament games, the NCAA. So 6 games in the postseason for this man Augustine, and double-double in each. Dad Jerry, his uncle Jerry Augustine, left-handed pitcher with the Milwaukee Brewers, now the head coach at University of Wisconsin Milwaukee baseball team. And there's Dee Brown harassing Arizona on the inbounds pass. Thursday, Survivor returns its regular night with a first It's so incredible, you have to see it to believe it. Don't miss Survivor Thursday on CBS. Arizona with a 1-point lead, 12:40 left.
Arizona's shooting over 50% from the field, but they've got to be stronger with that ball. They're turning it over too much.
Darren Williams away from the ball, hand-checking Stoudemire. He has his third foul. You see, he is a husky guard at 6'3" and about 215. Was a wrestler before his high school days, and that certainly has translated to great balance and strength.
He's had Salim Stoudemire in a headlock from the opening tap.
Stoudemire can't hit the runner, and forced a little offline. Each possession so precious, even though there's 12 minutes plus remaining. Ingram's missed shot rebounded by Warren Carter, and again a second chance for the Illini.
And another 35 seconds of defense for Arizona.
Ingram, good move. And finally it's Radenovich who takes down the rebound. He's been tough on the boards.
Nice pass.
Oh, Stoudemire, soft Fry. Channing Frye running the floor at 6'11", and Stoudemire alertly caught it.
You know what's amazing about Stoudemire? He looks at the basket every time he catches the ball. That makes him a threat, but he can see everything underneath the basket.
And a foul as Augustine goes up. Radenovich got a piece of him. His second. Timeout, 11:35. The beauty of the game. Sometimes the great pass better than the sensational shot. Final Four begins Saturday. Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis. Louisville is there. Arizona, Illinois to meet the Cardinals. And then tomorrow you'll see Wisconsin, North Carolina, Michigan State, Kentucky play in the bottom half of the bracket. Illinois fan Bill Murray, he was here on Thursday night cheering for the Illini. Grew up, of course, in this area. Augustine misses again. First of a two-shot opportunity. He's 1 for 3 from the line. (53-51) Arizona.
Illinois continuing to put full court pressure on the ball. That makes Arizona start their offense further out on the floor. Stoudemire not catching it in a position where he can do anything with it.
Good passing, and Adams uses the left hand. The assist from Channing Frye. He's showing you the complete game, this senior 6'11" Channing Frye from Phoenix, Arizona.
Just a superior passer, and Hassan Adams able to knife to the basket so effectively. Good switches inside by Frye and Adams. Illinois got to look to slip some of these screens that are being switched automatically.
8 on the shot clock. Luther head against Stoudemire. Beat the buzzer, but doesn't get the shot to go down. And Stoudemire clears to Shakur.
Stoudemire's done a nice job of getting on the defensive glass, not leaking out early. Little two-man game.
Frye with a tough 7-footer from the baseline.
So skilled, and he got grabbed as that ball was coming in.
17 points to lead all scorers. Channing Frye of Arizona. Deflected by Hassan Adams out of bounds at the midpoint of this second 20-minute period. A 6-point lead for Arizona.
Channing Frye has the complete game. Catching, finding the open man. Hassan Adams knifing to the basket. And then the little two-man game on the right side, quickly getting that jump hook up and over the outstretched arms of James Augustine.
Chris Rogers in, giving Shakur a breather.
And Rogers a terrific defender. He is strong and athletic.
Powell up high off the glass, and a foul. Roger Powell Jr. What a nice kiss, used high on the glass.
Roger Powell, a terrific athlete, going up against some terrific shot blockers in Frye and Adams. And the Reverend bringing that down from the heavens.
Juwan McClellan, a freshman, picks up his first foul. Shakur rested very briefly back in. He gives Stoudemire a breather. Three-point play for Powell and 14 in the game for the senior. And Arizona's lead is carved to 3.
Little 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure. Got to get it across just barely, and can't pick up your dribble right there.
Hassan Adams from the side hits the tray.
That's 4 out of his last 5 from 3 in the last 2 games. Only had 9 on the season coming into the game against Oklahoma State.
Darren Williams, his man fell down, and that left him with plenty of time to spot up. He has 7. Been a sensational game as these two outstanding teams fight for the right to play in the Final Four against Louisville.
Boy, this is like a heavyweight bout.
Adams with a pass to McClellan. Adams has done such a great job of weaving his way inside for layups. They were going to deny that, but left it open for his teammate, and a foul.
Go on Chris Rogers, and you can see the penetration breaks down the defense of Illinois, and Juwan McClellan doing a nice job of basket cutting from the corner. And D. Brown was not seeing man and ball, just looking at the ball, and got caught watching it.
Darren Williams, his toughest critic is his mother, Denise Smith, who played college basketball at West Liberty State. A Monday, Dave's all new with Queen Latifah, and later next week don't miss Brittany Murphy and Denzel Washington. Dave's all new all next week on CBS. And Darren Williams saying his mother used to scold him, there she is, when he would dribble between his legs, you know, French pastry. She wanted him to play the game straight up. He says, I have trouble pleasing her. Even when I have a good game, she's got something that I can improve upon.
Well, his mom raised a great point guard, because it's hard to argue that he's not been the best point guard in America this year with the way he's played and led.
Shakur slips but gets the pass to Rogers. Rogers inside.
And he got fouled.
They're letting him go. Williams goes the other way. Arizona's lead is 4. Boy, Hassan Adams springs, comes out 3-on-1. He takes it in himself. And with his ability to leap and hang, he lets the defense go by.
Boy, the speed of Hassan Adams. We talked about it without the ball, but he showed it with it. Grabs the rebound, takes it himself. A one-man fast break.
Adams with 15 points on 7 for 8 shooting. Picking up for the lack of scoring from the top scorer, Salim Stoudemire. 10 on the shot clock. Williams. Ooh, almost threw it away. 3, 2, 1. Luther head. It'll count if it goes. Off the front of the rim. Shakur heads the other way for Arizona, leading by 6. Biggest deficit Illinois has faced the entire season, 36 games, is 9 points.
Well, they're facing a really good Arizona defense. A defense that has been underrated all season long.
Hassan Adams again, short on this one. But gets his own rebound, twisting inside. Fry is hammered and the foul. Oh, my. The intensity of the action here at Rosemont, Illinois. So much at stake. An entire season, an entire young kid's dream. Here at the Rosemont, Illinois, Ray Meyer Court. 6-point lead for Arizona, and the points in the paint certainly dramatic. Jay did a little research. You went to Duke, but I understand you were being recruited by Lute Olson at Iowa. Why didn't you go there?
Well, you can only play for one guy, but I did go somewhere else, but my mom signed with Lute Olson. He had her at hello.
Yeah, he's had a lot of McDonald's All-Americas, has Lute Olson. getting mom in that kitchen saying, I'm going to take care of your son. You can be sure of that. And there's a whistle away from the ball. In fact, his player said the worst they've ever heard him say in 4 years is baloney. When he's really upset, he throws a baloney out there.
Well, he's a gentleman's gentleman, and one of the better practice coaches you'll see. I get the chance to attend a fair amount of Arizona practices. He's one of the masters.
Shakur rattles in a 3, and that matches the biggest deficit staring at Illinois the entire season. 9-point lead for Arizona.
And Arizona shooting over 60% in the second half. Things opening up on the perimeter because they've been so resolute at getting the ball inside.
D. Brown can't hit the 3, and the Illini desperately needed something good to happen on that exchange.
Too much reliance on the 3 by Illinois. 22 of their 48 shots in this ballgame have been threes.
Look at Augustine, a big man out on Hassan Adams at 6'4". Boy, they're skidding a lot at that end. Shakur can't. No, it's McClellan underneath. Can't hit. There's an ice surface under the basketball surface, and especially at the end where Arizona's shooting, they're slipping. Head can't hit the 3. Look at Stoudemire get up there, and he's fouled by Ingram. Second on Ingram.
Well, there's a familiar voice. A young man who shook up America with his music, became the biggest star in the world. Elvis, the original movie event of the year. Don't miss it. It's coming up in May here on CBS.
Arizona in this second half, Dick, doing a much better job of limiting Illinois to one shot. And although Salim Stoudemire has not grabbed a ton of defensive rebounds, the one he's grabbed have been big ones.
Fry moving outside to shoot and hit a 3. He has done it all. Channing Fry with 20, and the biggest lead of the game is now 70-58.
And how about the passing of Stoudemire? 7 assists against Oklahoma State, 6 against Illinois.
Ingram fires from 17 and hits. 70-60, Arizona's lead. 5.5 minutes to go here in Rosemont, Illinois. The winner to meet Louisville in the Final Four.
The key for Arizona now being strong with the ball. Illinois is going to slap at it, try to steal it.
Hassan Adams with a drive, and he had Augustine on him, and with his speed, able to blow by him. Augustine had the foul, his 4th.
When Stoudemire puts it on the floor, Ingram had to come off of Fry in order to try to stop that drive. That left Fry wide open. And 20 points for Channing Fry. He has been magnificent in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, every freshman class for Lute Olson at Arizona since 1990 has made it to the Final Four. This senior class of Stoudemire and Fry, they want to maintain that legacy. And this is their minute, or their hour, 5:23 in minutes and seconds left. And Channing Fry, while Stoudemire has not had a big shooting game, Fry has showcased his enormous talent against Illinois tonight.
Well, he's really been the key, as has Hassan Adams. Those two have really made the difference in this ballgame.
One of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation, but only 1 out of 2 on that opportunity.
Roger Powell will fire the 3.
That's not a good shot.
Fry continues to add to his impressive statistics. 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 block shots.
Roger Powell is not a three-point shooter. That was off of one pass. They didn't make Arizona guard. And now Arizona trying to spread it out a little bit. They're going to take time off the clock, too.
Stoudemire weaving inside. Oh, a terrible fall. And it'll go against whom?
Roger Powell.
He shows his quickness. Stoudemire saw the opening like a halfback knifing off tackle.
Roger Powell sliding underneath, and Roger Powell can hit threes, but that last shot that he took was way too early in that offensive sequence, and it let Arizona off the hook defensively. They didn't have to guard for a possession.
Reminder tonight after basketball, don't miss Cold Case, followed by 48 Hours Mystery tonight on CBS. To the court. He's 2 for 2 tonight from the line. 7 points, 6 assists.
This is where he buries you, Dick. Over 90% on the season. You get punished for fouling Salim Stoudemire.
He said that winning the game against Oklahoma State, that 15-footer. He said, hey, I watched Michael Jordan all my life. He wanted the ball at the end. He said, that was my biggest shot ever in my college career. And I thought about Jordan when I hit it.
And he turned down that ball screen because he knew he was going to be trapped by Oklahoma State. He wasn't giving up that shot no matter what.
D. Brown has it knocked away, and it's out of bounds off Brown himself as they skid it for it. And credit the defense of the freshman Juwan McClellan. And the Arizona Wildcats starting to feel it.
Boy, terrific job by Shakur to get a hand on that ball. And Arizona really outworking Illinois on the defensive end.
What shooting by Arizona here in this Chicago region. 66%, the season high in the Oklahoma State one. They're shooting 57% tonight.
2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure, trying to get traps. Not the place to pick it up. Got away with it.
McClellan. And it comes back out to Arizona. There was a fortunate exchange.
Boy, give credit to Fry for keeping that ball alive. Shot clock at 8.
Stoudemire looked up. He sees it. Working on Darren Williams. Goes inside with a right hand, but can't hit.
Boy, what a great job splitting that trap.
McClellan. And he battles with Roger Powell. And I believe they're going to call a foul on Powell. Yes, his third.
Arizona very athletic, and right now they are quicker to the ball. They have been tougher coming down the stretch.
At the line, this young man from Houston, Milby High School, the state champions a year ago, 39-0. Juwan McClellan averaged 5.5 points a game on the season. Played more and more as the season developed. Lute Olson feels he's got a great future. 6 points tonight. Points in the paint, Arizona. Did that shock you?
It doesn't surprise me that Arizona would go inside. They go inside first, and then to the perimeter, play a great inside-out game. And going inside, to me, is like a body blow in a prize fight. It's going to catch up with you sooner or later.
36-12, Arizona. Points in the paint. And now, a tight game throughout. Arizona has exploded into a 15-point lead. Only 4 minutes to go.
Illinois cannot panic right now. And
Darren Williams gets 3 out of that 15-point lead.
Right now, it's got to be done defensively. Illinois needs stops. They cannot trade baskets.
11 points now for Darren Williams. Shakur, as they make the double team, they get it to Fry. Hassan Adams. Stoudemire. The pass to McClellan, and he goes down heavily. Boy, there is some body collisions underneath. Timeout, 3:28 left. The Wildcats have clawed to a 12-point lead. Basketball tonight, cold case followed by 48 hours mystery tonight on CBS. Let's check the CBS Sportsline stats of the game. And you see here in the second half how Arizona has dominated play to build that lead of 75-63. Get complete NCAA tournament coverage at CBSSportsline.com. Now, Lute Olson felt that Channing Frye had been ignored by the national press. He said, we got to get the Wells Fargo back across the Mississippi and let everyone know about him. Well, you've seen what a tremendous player he is tonight. 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. And this is the freshman McClellan at the line. Another free throw, and when you're one of the top 5 free throw shooting teams in the nation, that's where it pays off. Games like this, you know you're going to get fouled. They're 13 for 15 tonight, Arizona.
Well, they've attacked the basket, and they've attacked inside. That's why they've gotten fouled. And Illinois has relied way too much on the 3 in this game. Half of the Illini shots have been behind the arc. 26 of their 52 shots have been threes. That is not a balanced offense.
Luther Head, another 3, and he hits this one. Head in the game, sore hamstring and all with 13. Fry helping out on the pressure. And now to Hassan Adams. Luther Head on him. Batted away by Head. No, he said last touch by Adams. So Head's defense pays off for the turnover.
Adams just lost the handle. Give a lot of credit to Luther Head for putting great pressure on him and forcing that turnover.
Less than 3 minutes left. Desperation time for these
Illinois fans, who certainly are the partisan crowd here at Rosemont. Head can't hit that one. D. Brown in with the big guys, able to get the rebound and score. He has 13.
There is plenty of time left in this ball game. They don't have to settle for threes, but D. Brown, the smallest man on the court, playing big.
A look ahead tomorrow at the regional finals. Another delicious doubleheader. Wisconsin, North Carolina from Syracuse. The Spartans against the Wildcats. Michigan State and Kentucky to follow the regional final from Austin. And then we'll have completion of the Final Four. The hoopla begins with Road to the Final Four at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 o'clock in the West. An 8-2 run by Illinois has cut into that 15-point Arizona lead. Now it's a 9-point advantage, and Channing Frye with that good defense, full court by Illinois, forced to use a timeout. It's been a storybook year for Illinois. 29 straight wins. Then the undefeated season at Ohio State was broken by the Buckeyes. There's a shot by Matt Sylvester, a three-pointer with 5 seconds left, and the Buckeyes celebrated a 65-64 victory, the only loss by Bruce Weber's team the entire year. 2:40 left. Ball, Arizona lead. Arizona by 9.
Illinois really pressing up on the Wildcats.
Williams on Stoudemire. Shakur and Brown. Knocked out of bounds by D. Brown.
Trapping that ball screen and the quick and active hands of D. Brown.
Defensive player of the year in the Big Ten. Led the team in steals.
2:20 left. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Ooh, Stoudemire had trouble, took his eyes off it. Gets away from Williams, but Head picks him up. Stoudemire down the lane.
Here comes Head on the fly. Stoudemire back.
Illinois has 2 minutes. They do not have to have a three. But if it's there, you can pull the trigger.
Oh, they will, won't they? Darren Williams takes the short jumper. Not there, but Powell is. Oh, beautifully by the freshman McClellan. He's only 6'4", up tall to deny.
Well, he's 6'4", but he is athletic. That was a big-time block on what looked like a sure two.
And what a time to deliver for the Wildcats. A minute and a half left. They're going to chew up. No, here's Head. Another steal. Luther Head. Hope still vibrates for these Illini fans. A 7-point lead. 1:21 to go. 7-point lead. Jay Billis, what strikes you on the game reset?
2 things. Timeouts by Arizona and the fact that Arizona has the arrow. So Arizona, if they get tied up, they keep possession of the ball. If they can't get it inbounds, they can still call a timeout. But Arizona's got to be more aggressive on the offensive end. They're just trying to hang on. They've still got to look to be aggressive and exploit the overplay that Illinois is throwing on them.
Ooh, nearly a steal by Carter.
And there's the foul. Double bonus in effect for Arizona. 16 fouls committed by the Wildcats. And a reminder, if you're just joining us, to see our Saturday night programming, Cold Case and 48 Hours Mystery. That will follow this NCAA regional final from
the Chicago region. Favored Illinois, losers have only won all year, winningest team in Illini and Big Ten history, down to the number 3 seeds, Arizona. And the miss by McClellan, who had made his first 4.
Smart foul by Illinois, even though McClellan shoots over 70% on the season and was 4 for 4. Putting a freshman on the line with this much pressure, very intelligent.
He made 5 out of 6 on the evening, 10 points for McClellan. 78-70 the score. 1:11 to go. Williams takes it all the way for the easy two.
Boy, what a smart play. He knew that Arizona didn't want to foul and got to the rim.
D. Brown called for the foul. No time wasted there. 63 seconds left.
Boy, this is the sign of a very smart player. He had Stoudemire backpedaling, dropped that left shoulder, and sent Stoudemire out of bounds.
And quickly back on defense, looking for a steal.
And they got the quick foul. They fouled Mustafa Shakur, who is not a great shooter, but a good free throw shooter.
73% on the season. First free throw tonight. 11 points now in the game.
And this is where really good teams salt games away from the free throw line.
That free throw makes it a 3-possession game. And now an 8-point lead. Final minute. Luther Head.
He hits the three. And what a game by Luther Head. There was some question how well he could play because of that hamstring injury. Has he delivered?
Stoudemire trying to keep the ball because
they don't call the foul, and D. Brown gets two. Oh my. 45 seconds left. A 3-point game. What a comeback by Illinois. They were down by 15. Oh my.
you know with under a minute that Illinois is going to be slapping at the ball without worrying about a foul, and D. Brown slaps at Mustafa Shakur. The nice pass by Darren Williams, and all of a sudden we've got a one-possession game. The Illini showing the heart of a champion.
Throughout the season, when in trouble in the second half, they've managed to find another gear. Can they do it with time running out? There is Ingram to bat the ball away. Williams could tie it with a three. He does! Tied at 80, 38 seconds to go. The final seconds to decide the team that advances to the Final Four. Illinois has made up 15 points in the last 4 minutes. Timeout, Arizona.
Here's the lob pass trying to go over the top, and Jack Ingram with his left hand had Channing Frye's jersey. It wasn't called, but Ingram with the screen to free up Darren Williams. And all of a sudden, we are tied at 80. What an incredible run by Illinois. And now with 31.2 seconds left to go, effectively, Arizona, if they're strong with the ball, can wait for a last shot. But what an incredible comeback by this Illinois team to put them in a position to win. And remember, Salim Stoudemire against Oklahoma State was the guy that took the last shot on Thursday night.
Yeah, here's the hero. 2.8 seconds left. Worked his man. Look at this floater from 15. And a 79-78 win over Oklahoma State.
And you know, Dick, if they go with another pick and roll situation to try to free up Stoudemire, Illinois has been trapping that all night long. Stoudemire more likely to go to a little 1-4 set where he can get a one-on-one situation, and if he's covered or doubled, kick it to an open teammate.
What a run here by Illinois. Down by 15. They've outscored Arizona in the last 2 minutes, 48 seconds by 17-3.
The key here, getting the ball inbounds.
Arizona's been very tough all year in close games, 8-1. Illinois hasn't had many close games.
About a 2-second difference between the game and shot clock.
Looks like a little high screen.
Stoudemire with Darren Williams down to 10 on the shot clock. Stoudemire. McClellan, the freshman, way off the mark.
Tried to throw the ball to Williams. Stoudemire, no foul. Adams counts as it goes. It's short. We go to overtime, just as game one between West Virginia and Louisville went overtime. Whoa!
What a wild finish to regulation. Stoudemire, as we thought, if he gets double teamed, you are going to see him kick it to an open teammate. McClellan with the miss, and here, a poor decision by D. Brown. He gave Arizona another chance at the win, but Luther Head, the great defender that he is, bails him out with the blocked shot on Stoudemire.
5-minute overtime period. The drama continues in Chicago. Tied at 80. To overtime we go. See who will meet Louisville. The Cardinals win in overtime over West Virginia. Just as West Virginia had led by 20, and the Cardinals caught them and beat them in overtime, Arizona trailed by 15, and that 17-3 run rallying them to an 80-all tie. Louisville awaits the winner. In the bottom, you'll see those games tomorrow: Wisconsin, Carolina, Michigan State, Kentucky, to decide the 4 great teams left to win the national title.
It'll be interesting to see if Arizona can snap out of it, because they had this game won. All they had to do was be strong with the ball, step to the line, and hit their free throws, and they were off to St. Louis. They need to get mentally straight in this game in order to win it.
In the last 4 minutes, Illinois outscoring Arizona 20-5. Augustine, as you know, fouled out, so they don't have his services. Luther Head is still out there, almost rattled in. And there's D. Brown, and then he has a pick by Shakur. Shakur tripped from behind, no whistle. But they're playing rugby. Head. England. Brown to Williams for 3. He tied it. He gives Illinois the lead. 19 for Darren Williams. Mama's got to be happy tonight. Channing Frye scores.
You need a helmet and shoulder pads in the lane right now. That took great strength to get that up and in.
Channing Frye leading all scorers with 22.
Well, this Illinois team just refuses to lose. How impressive a comeback.
Williams again. Beautiful tip by Hassan Adams to get it over to his teammate.
He just keeps climbing that ladder and climbing that ladder.
Beautiful pass by Stoudemire, and Frye jams it down. Arizona back in front by 1. 3:20 to go, overtime. 24 points, 12 rebounds, Channing Frye.
Well, these teams are making play after play.
Powell is free. Oh, it rattled around. That kissed every part of the rim. Bruce Weber wants a timeout. Illinois in front, 85-84. Overtime, 3:02 left. Well, in the spirit of the tense drama that we've seen in 2 basketball games today, it continues right after basketball action with Cold Case and 48 Hours Mystery here on CBS on this Saturday night. Dick Ember, Jay Billis, Armin Katane, Rob Monsbach, our producer, Mike Arnold, our director here from Rosemont, Illinois. The winner advances to the Final Four against Louisville. 3:02 left in overtime. Number 1. And they've been number 1 for 17 weeks. Illinois leading Arizona 85-84. 16 fouls on Arizona. Illinois over 10, so the double bonus in effect for the Wildcats.
Darren Williams staying on Salim Stoudemire. You wonder how he's got the energy to knock down those threes with the job he's done defensively.
Stoudemire outside to Radenovich. 10 on the shot clock. Shakur
Stoudemire. Ingram. Stoudemire 2 for 12 shooting in the game.
Well, that was not a good shot. That was forced up.
Williams, he has gone for the three, and he hits again. 22 for Darren Williams. The Illini by 4. 2 minutes to go. Luther head. Oh, my.
And finally at the other end, Hassan Adams was delivered inside the entire evening. Gets 2 plus 1.
Boy, the strength of Hassan Adams, but the toughness of Darren Williams knocking down this shot, and he has knocked down some big ones in this game. And the other guy that has been just a warrior, Luther Head, defensively with the steals, despite that injured hamstring, and Hassan Adams, speaking of warrior mentality on the other end, now the chance to cut it to a one-possession game.
Dinovich out and McClellan in for Arizona. The foul was on Ingram, his 3rd. Adams at the line looking for his 19th point. That would equal his season high. He scored 19 against Oklahoma State as well.
How much more can these players give? They've left it all on the floor.
They'll use some clock with that 3-point lead. And here's the man that orchestrates this offense, Darren Williams, and he's taking the baton here late, going for the threes, and that one denied by Channing Frye. Disappointed in himself that he got such complete swatting of the ball that went out of bounds.
Darren Williams putting such pressure on this Arizona defense, either pulling up for open threes after coming off a screen, or breaking down the defense with his strong penetration, and I do mean strong.
8 on the shot clock. What a pass. Williams again for 3. Not this time. And Frye. No, it's McClellan with a rebound. Down by 3. Here comes Arizona. Stoudemire. Well off the mark, but Adams flies in and scores. It's a 1-point game. 51 seconds left.
Boy, Hassan Adams, what an offensive rebounder. And Salim Stoudemire looks exhausted.
Darren Williams does as well. Gasping air as they actually walk into position. About a 15-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. Timeout. Check Hassan Adams, his season high 21. Bounding in.
He just gets so high, and could have been a 3-point play there, but strong. Not only on the offensive rebound, but completing the play. And Dick, as you mentioned, both Stoudemire and Darren Williams walking around the floor like they were staggering in a 15-round bout.
Incredible comeback. Use that boxing analogy. Illinois had to climb off the canvas late. They were down by 15. Outscored Arizona 20-5 to tie it, force into overtime. 34.5 seconds left, 18 on the shot clock. And again, team fouls. Should Arizona foul, it's only a 1-and-1 for Illinois. While if Illinois commits a foul, 2 shots go to Arizona.
All of the guards for Illinois, good free throw shooters. Get the ball into their hands and let them make a play.
Leading scorers tonight, Frye with 24 and 12 rebounds. Adams chipping in with 21, a season high, career high. Williams with 22. Not only the great playmaker, this All-America Darren Williams, but 22 points and 10 assists. And then Luther had on a bad leg, 20 points for the Illini. D. Brown, the trigger in the pass at midcourt. 15 on the shot clock. 1-point lead Arizona. Oh, almost turned over and head saved the day again. Head, not there. Rebound Adams.
What a defensive play by Hassan Adams with Channing Frye right behind him out of that shot.
They're going to take timeout, yes, with 11.8 seconds. Arizona calls time, and Lute Olson will try to draw up a play that will range from Chicago all the way to St. Louis, if successful. Cold Case, 48 Hours Mystery. Our Saturday lineup will continue right after basketball here from the Rosemont, Illinois, near O'Hare Airport, northwest of downtown Chicago. Well, you've been on the bench with Coach K as an assistant 3 years, won a couple of national titles. What would you draw up here?
Well, they've got to look to Stoudemire. Although he has not shot the ball well, he's 2 of 13 tonight. He is still the most dangerous scoring threat on the floor. If Lute Olson decides to go with the pick and roll out top, Channing Frye is the option. Let your 2 seniors decide it, because Stoudemire has done a very nice job of finding open people in this ball game. He did a very nice job against Oklahoma State with his 7 assists. He's got 7 assists again tonight. He can make good decisions if you put the ball in his hands. I like Arizona's chances, even though Illinois is a spectacularly good defensive team.
And Bruce Weber calling upon just that one more time, as he has since he took over. Head coach of Southern Illinois, came to Champaign, wasn't the most popular choice for the Illini alums, but they love him to a man and woman today. He's delivered 61 wins in 2 years, the winningest team ever at Illinois. He's drawn up the defense. Lute Olson, a Hall of Famer at the other end, has suggested the offense. One figures it has to go through Salim Stoudemire's hands.
And you have to be very careful here of an offensive rebound tip-in by Arizona, especially Hassan Adams, a superior offensive rebounder.
McClellan, the freshman, to throw in the ball. 10 seconds. Shakur, 8 seconds. Adams with 3. He's got to hurry. Finally forced to shoot. And the ball game is over. Illinois in overtime advances to the Final Four. Bruce Weber's defense did it again. Denied Arizona a good shot at the buzzer and win it 90-89. And there's always the other side, the painful loss to the senior class, Channing Frye. Salim Stoudemire so close to victory, a 15-point lead with 4 minutes to go, and could not hold off the incredible rally of this Illinois team.
Arizona just waited way too long to get into their offensive set. Little box set, they got it into Adams, but Adams not cognizant of the clock and had to throw up a prayer. And Illinois, can you say a team of destiny?
The first time in 16 years, the men from Champaign, Illinois, will go to the Final Four. An incredible game, overtime, 90-89. A man, Bruce Weber, lost his mother just 2 weeks ago. The highs and lows of this last month for Weber. There it is. Illinois and Louisville will battle in the top half of the bracket. Tomorrow you'll see Wisconsin, North Carolina, Michigan State, Kentucky to decide the final 2 places in that last foursome. Our Chevrolet players of the game here at Rosemont. Channing Frye, what a game, 24-12. And Luther had his defense not noted there, but 20 points per head and numerous steals to spark the Illini team. What a day, what a game. Congratulations, Louisville and Illinois. Dick Enver, Jay Billis, Armin Katayan. We go to New York.
Dick Enberg, thank you very much. What an incredible day of college basketball. Illinois joins Louisville in punching a ticket to St. Louis. 2 overtime games and regional finals on the same day for the first time in the NCAAs. I want to remind you tonight on CBS, don't miss Cold Case, followed by 48 Hours Mystery. It's all ahead here on CBS, America's most watched network. Tomorrow's lineup looks like this. It begins with the CBS Sports Special, Tragedy to Triumph, the Maryland Basketball Odyssey. And then at 2 Eastern, Clark, Seth, and I will travel the road to the Final Four, setting the stage for our regional finals doubleheader. 2:30 Eastern, Wisconsin meets North Carolina in Syracuse. At 5 Eastern, Michigan State and Kentucky down in Austin. The 2 winners earn tickets to the Final Four. We hope you've enjoyed it. We have. For Seth, for Clark, for all of us here at CBS Sports, I'm Greg Gumbel. More of the same coming your way tomorrow. Good night, everyone.